Hello Pokemon trainers! Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Battle Stadium singles video here on iStarly TV. This is part of my Road to Master series where I try to climb the online ranked Battle Stadium singles ladder. Once again, we have a brand new team today, and this is my last team slot that I can share. So if I make new teams after this point, I will have to remove older teams. So if you watch one of my older videos from this regulation and you want to use that team, it's possible the team code might be gone for some of the older teams. But anyway, here's the team. It has some unique Pokemon, and I've been experimenting. There have been a few Pokemon on this team that have been working really well for me. And then there's some Pokemon that are pretty good, but they don't feel like they completely fit the team. So we're going to see how that works. But anyways, there's the team code if you want to try it out. This is... it's kind of a Scovillain team, and okay, so I used Scovillain in one of the earliest Scarlet and Violet metas, like before the Paradox Pokemon were ever released. Maybe it was when they were released, but either way, Scovillain is just one of the most obnoxious Pokemon ever because it has Moody, so like other Moody Pokemon, it's just there to roll the dice and like hope that it gets good boosts. And if it gets enough good boosts, basically it's untouchable, and it's extremely obnoxious to play against, and sometimes it does stall out games. I really like the design of this Pokemon though. I think it's really cool. And I have a shiny, so I'm like, I want to show it off. Yeah, so Scovillain was one of my favorite Pokemon of the new generation. So I kind of just want to show it off here, even though it's extremely obnoxious. So the goal with this set is, I'm running the EV spread, which is from Smogon. It's pretty old, but I think it still works well. The goal is it's tanky, and Moody, what it does, in case you don't know, is at the end of your turn, you get +2 in a random stat, and then you get -1 in another random stat. So over the course of several turns, you just start getting, you start accumulating boosts, and if you get lucky enough, like if you get a multiple defense or special defense boosts, like I said, you just become untouchable. If you get some speed boosts, that works extremely well with Leech Seed and Substitute. And Flamethrower is the only move that does damage, but I found that Flamethrower is pretty sufficient. Like, there's not really any common Pokemon in the meta with the Flash Fire ability, so you're kind of free to, once you have enough boost, you can just spam Flamethrower, and even Pokemon that resist it are going to take a lot of damage. And of course, Leech Seed is there to also do some damage, alongside Substitute and Protect, which are there to kind of stall out Leech Seed turns, as well as accumulate those Moody boosts. And I have Terra Water. I think it complements Scovillain really well. Another good option is Terra Fairy, but I think Water is pretty solid. And then, the rest of the Pokemon I have, for the most part, I'll talk about some of the more unique ones, but Espathra, Gholdengo, Dragonite, really no introduction needed. I think Espathra is another Pokemon that's not very common, but like in the meta, it's not very common, but if you watch my videos, you know that I use Espathra a lot. I actually really like Espathra. It's a great Pokemon. I just love, it has Speed Boost as well as Lumina Crash. Lumina Crash is such a great move, and then it can baton pass those Speed Boosts to something else. Preferably Scovillain, right? Gholdengo and Dragonite, I do not think you need to hear anything about them at this point. You know, they've existed for so long. They've terrorized every meta since the beginning of Scarlet and Violet. I will say I'm running Choice Banded Dragonite with Terra Flying, which some people don't really expect, and it can do some massive damage. Then finally we have Cinccino, Cinccino and Rotom. I think I might have used Rotom on a previous team as well, but this is a max special attack, max speed Rotom with Terra Fairy. Rotom is just another really good Pokemon in the meta. It's got an amazing typing. It hits pretty hard, and yeah, it can just, take a lot of good damage, but also do a lot of damage. So Rotom's just really well-rounded. Finally, we have Cinccino, which is kind of a pet Pokemon of mine. That sounds weird to say, but like what I mean by that is like it's a Pokemon that I've always really, really liked in competitive, and I always try to make it work in every generation that it's available. What you do with Cinccino is you have the Skill Link ability, which means that moves that hit, 2 to 5 times, with Skill Link, they will always hit 5 times, or rather the maximum amount of times. So that also hits 3 times with the Triple Axle. And then with the King's Rock item, I think with King's Rock you get like a 10% chance to flinch with your moves. However, with these multi-hit moves, the chance to flinch is added on each of the hits. So if you're hitting 5 times, I think, I could be wrong on this math, but I think you end up with about a 50% chance of flinching the opponent, which is obviously really strong. And Cinccino actually has a pretty good speed stat. It's base 115, which is pretty fast. And so sometimes what you can do is just you fire off these moves. They're decently powerful, and you can guarantee the enemy flinches. Cinccino's attack stat is not great. However, it does get a brand new move in this generation in the form of Tidy Up. Tidy Up is like a move. It's a cute little move. It's a move that only like kind of like mice Pokemon get. Like Tandemaus gets it. I think Furret also gets it. But it's basically like a Dragon Dance that also removes hazards. Now, importantly, it removes hazards from both sides. So that's why we don't really have Stealth Rock on our side, but it's kind of like a mix of Rapid Spin and Dragon Dance, which is kind of insane. And it sounds like an amazing move. I didn't even really know it existed until not too long ago. I think a lot of people don't know that it exists because it's on so few good Pokemon. Like no one just knows what it does. But anyways, that is the team. My goal is often to either lead with Espathra or Cinccino. Cinccino can kind of just, again, really kind of annoy the enemy, and then usually I do end up bringing Scovillain if the opponent doesn't really have like any unaware Pokemon or something like that. And then the rest of the team is pretty well balanced to take on other threats. So yeah, I'm excited for some fun games. Hopefully we don't stall too many turns with Scovillain. If that ends up being the case, I might skip ahead, so you're not just watching me protect, substitute every turn. But we'll see how things play out. We have game number 1. My opponent has a couple of monkeys on their team, as well as a bear and a couple dragons and a cat. All right. My opponent's team is scary. The individual Pokemon on their team each have potential to do really powerful things or really annoying things in the form of Grafaiai. I would love to lead with Cinccino here, but my opponent does have Dragapult and Meowscarada, both of whom outspeed Cinccino, so that's something I need to keep in mind. I could still lead with it. Like, even if they lead Dragapult, it's possible they just go for like Reflect or something, but I mean, that's not like the most safe assumption. I think I like Scovillain here. After a few boosts, it is pretty good, although also, oh man, this is actually rough. That Meowscarada is actually terrifying. Because I want to lead with Espathra, but Meowscarada is just so good. Yeah, and then if I can get some good boosts on Scovillain, it can handle their team well, but Ursaluna's another big threat. So I kind of wonder if I should just bring Cinccino, or maybe just Dragonite. Oh man, I'm just going to bring Dragonite. I think this Dragonite build, because it's choice banded, the goal is just to hit as hard as possible. I think sometimes people don't really expect like such a huge output of damage from Dragonite, and so it's Terra Flying as well with a stab, flying Terra Blast, which can also just, I mean, as I've said before, if you watch my Star After video, flying is just surprisingly one of the best offensive types in my opinion, because so few things resist it, and there are some really strong flying type moves, so hopefully we can catch them off guard with that. But we're going to see what they lead with first of all, and they do lead with Baxcalibur. That's an interesting lead. This thing is scary. I think I can live a hit from them. Obviously I have Gleam, but Lumina Crash lowers their special defense. I'm going to Crash first. Maybe that's weird, just in case they Terra, but also it means that maybe after the first Crash, maybe the follow-up Dazzling Gleam might kill them, unless they Terra that turn. I'm not really afraid. I kind of wonder if they might just go like Dragon Dance, in which case I'm also not afraid because I have Speed Boost. Oh no. Okay, so they go Scale Shot. The reason I said oh no is because I have the Key Berry item. Do I live? No! Oh man, that's actually really bad. Okay, so I have the Key Berry item, which boosts my defense after I get hit by a physical attack. I was wondering if Key would proc after the first hit of Scale Shot, in which case I would, take less damage from the rest of their Scale Shots, but that obviously didn't happen, and they hit 5 times instead of 4. So yeah, we just got destroyed. I'm kind of wondering if I go into Scovillain here. It's a huge risk. If I go into Dragonite, I'm going to want to Extreme Speed, Because, I mean, Dragonite is not great against Baxcalibur, especially when they're so fast. Because obviously they have Scale Shot or Icicle Spear, which will break my multi-scale and kill me unless I Terrastalize. I think it's just too big of a risk. Against Scovillain, I take neutral damage from their... I mean, we might just lose here. We straight up might... Wow, they have Crash instead of Spear. Don't flinch. Okay, nice. Okay. Yeah, there was a chance we just straight up lose here, but... Anyways, what I was trying to say is, I think I survived because I take neutral damage from their moves. And the fact that I land this Leech Seed is great. If I get a speed boost here, I might be able to start subbing up and basically stalling out their health with the Leech Seed, which is where Scovillain becomes extremely annoying. However, I actually get a defense boost, which is actually just as good. I'm being a little careful with the Flamethrower because of course Baxcalibur's ability gives it a defense, or I'm sorry, an attack boost when it gets hit by a fire move. So even though I will do damage to it, it's possible that, you know, we don't want to give it the boost, right? So I'm trying to wait until the last possible moment to use Flamethrower, like basically when I'm sure that it'll kill them. They actually only get 2 hits there, so I guess they're not actually loaded dice, which I guess makes some amount of sense because once again they have Icicle Crash instead of Icicle Spear. I wonder if that means that they're Assault Vest, because we still have not seen Dragon Dance. Oh, I missed what we got a boost on. Let me see. Ooh, another defense boost. That is perfect. That's actually really good. I'm still slower. So I'm just gonna go ahead and Flamethrower, just in case they switch. I know I said I was waiting for the last possible moment, and they do switch, which is great. The reason I went Flamethrower there is because I know I'm slower than them, so they'll attack me first. I'll take like 0 damage from it, and then I'll go for the Flamethrower, get some damage on them, and then they're likely to die the following turn. So I just thought that seemed like a decent opportunity to do that. Do they have Black Sludge? If they have Black Sludge or Leftovers, this is going to be annoying because they're just going to get some health back. Now, another thing that's kind of rough here is I think you can taunt through a substitute. So if they just go taunt here, that could be potentially bad. So I'm just going to go Flamethrower again, because if they taunt, that's obviously really bad for them. And maybe by some chance I can burn them. They do go Encore, which also hits through the substitute, which I'm a little surprised by because, once again, like, I'm fine being locked into Flamethrower. Like, eventually it'll just kill them, and if I ever burn them, that's also fantastic. So maybe they're going to try to break my sub. Oh, I got low battery. Oops. Maybe they're going to try to break my sub, but I'm at like +6 defense now, and I get a special attack boost, which is beautiful. I get a defense drop, but because I've gotten so many boosts, yeah, I'm good. I have +5 defense and +1 special attack. I will take that. Now I don't think they have a good switch into Flamethrower, right? Hopefully their last Pokemon is like Meowscarada, but a lot of the Pokemon on their team, Meowscarada, Ursaluna, they would take massive damage from a Flamethrower. So yeah, this is just working out super well for me because I'm behind a sub and I'm just accruing these boosts every single turn. Now they do go into Baxcalibur, which is scary, but I might kill. Oh, I just killed them. Yikes. Okay, that's great. Yeah. So unfortunately for them, their ability doesn't matter there. And let's see what our boosts are this time. And again, because I'm behind a sub and I have leftovers, I'm just slowly recovering all of my health back. Get another defense boost. Didn't really need that. And then special defense drop, which is actually kind of scary if their last Pokemon is like... If they have like Ursaluna with Hyper Voice, that is actually terrifying. Okay, Dragapult. If this has Infiltrator, that's also really bad for me. Because that would hit through my substitute and probably just kill me. Unless they're physical Dragonite. Or I mean Dragapult, sorry. They go Curse. Interesting. I don't think I've seen that on a Dragapult. But if their last Pokemon ends up being Grafaiai, I'm not sure they can win. Like, I'm pretty sure I have a good matchup against Grafaiai with my last Pokemon. Hopefully I get a special attack boost here, though. I mean, yeah, Scovillain just kind of single-handedly ran through this team, and that's kind of what it does. Sometimes, if the enemy is not fully prepared for it, or they don't know how to work it, it just kind of takes over the game. It's kind of a dumb Pokemon. I really like it, as I keep saying, but yeah, it can feel a little annoying to play against at times. Although, to be fair, this game was not the most annoying Scovillain game I've ever had. What berry is this? Custap? That doesn't matter though. Oh, well, they go Phantom Force. Wow, okay. That's kind of smart. So they have Curse and Phantom Force. So they Curse, which, you know, makes me take a lot of damage, and then they Phantom Force, which makes them disappear. So I take more damage. Like, I'm taking the Curse damage here. And then once again, if they have Infiltrator, they actually will just kill me. Well, actually, I'm at like +6 defense once again. Special attack boost, that's nice. Although I think I'm basically dead. I think I'm basically dead after this turn. Maybe not. We'll see. They do have Infiltrator, but once again, because of those defense boosts, I do survive it. So this is just perfect. Yeah. Okay, so Grafaiai, I know it has Encore. It might have Taunt. I know it has Prankster, basically. Like, I'm just trying to think what other moves it would run. It's not a Pokemon you see very often. It could have Toxic. Do I still take Curse damage? Yeah, I do. I might die here. Oh man, okay, yeah. That's not surprising, but if I had not died there, I could probably just kill Grafaiai with a flamethrower and not have to worry about its shenanigans. Oh yeah, I forgot. My last Pokemon's Dragonite. Huh. My opponent has not Terastallized. What are the odds that they are... Well, I think... They could be Terra Steel, which would mean I don't want to go Terra Blast or Outrage. They could be Terra Fairy, which means I don't want to go Outrage. They could be Terra Flying, which means I don't want to go Earthquake. So it's all up to what I decide here, and I think it's just going to be Terra Blast with the Terra Flying. And they just canceled. Perfect. That's great. I'm sure an Extreme Speed would have just killed them anyway. Maybe I should have just gone Extreme Speed and not really overthought it, but I don't know. The fact that they were running Grafaiai kind of scared me because I just don't know exactly what that thing is capable of sometimes. And, you know, who knows? Maybe they had like a combo that they could go for that would stop me from doing anything. Either way, we get a W there, which is great. It was a lot of fun. And let's do another one. We have a game number... Is this 2 or 3? I forgot. I think that last game took a long time, so this is number 2, I think. My opponent's team is pretty similar to the last. They have 3 of the same Pokemon as my last opponent. Meowscarada, Ursaluna, and Baxcalibur. All of whom are very scary to play against once again, so I'm not happy about that. They also have Incineroar, because I was going to say Luminara. Espathra looks like a really solid lead here, but... You know, even though they have Hydreigon, I do have Dazzling Gleam, but also they do have Incineroar, who I don't like to see. I wonder if they're going to expect me to lead with that. This might just be a game where I just lead Cinccino, although I am worried about that Meowscarada, as always. I need a better answer to Meowscarada. I think Meowscarada is one of the top 10 most used Pokemon in this meta. Anyway, we're going with these 2 dudes, or sorry, they're actually both girls. We're going with these 2 chicks. Sorry, we're going with these 2 young ladies. And what do I do beyond that? Gholdengo? They have so many dark types, though. Could be Rotom. It's probably Rotom. If I can outplay them, Rotom's really good. Dragonite is also really good, but if I lock myself into Earthquake, they have Hydreigon. If I lock myself into... I don't know, Terra Blast, they have Garganacl, I don't know, we're just going to go with this. Plus, once again, they do have Garganacl, which is a very good physical wall, so I think having as few physical attackers as possible might help me here, but we're going to see. Their team is pretty solid all around. I keep forgetting to change my trainer card, or just not having the time to do it, or just not getting around to it. They lead with Meowscarada here. Not super surprising. I do not think I can survive a hit from it, so I think I might have to go right into Scovillain. Problem is, if they go for knockoff, I think Scovillain will take a lot of damage. I might just lose Scovillain if I switch. So with that in mind, I guess I'll just Tail Slap and hope that I live a hit. If they knock off, I might not have any chance of surviving, but it's also possible maybe they're like adamant or something, and maybe I'm faster. But of course, Meowscarada is faster than Cinccino naturally. Oh, Toxic Spikes. Okay, I'll take that. As long as I hit this Tail Slap, then I'll be really happy about that. I mean, to be fair... No! Oh, man. Okay, let's tidy up now. I was going to say, to be fair, Scovillain does not want to be poisoned, so Toxic Spikes are actually pretty good for my opponent there. I really hope they just Toxic Spikes again here. If they do, that'll be absolutely perfect. Maybe they will. because then I'll basically remove those hazards and get a speed boost and an attack boost. So that would be the perfect situation, or maybe they switch, which I also don't think they would do. They do go knockoff, that's the smart play. Luckily I survived though, however, they do knock off the King's Rock. And look how cute that is. I'm sweeping, my little Cinccino's cleaning up. They do knock off the King's Rock, which means I'm not gonna... I'm still gonna do a lot of damage. I'm gonna do the same amount of damage, but now I cannot flinch them, but I think that's just fine. Let's roll the dice on Tail Slap again. If they have Sucker Punch, we're dead. Nice. That should kill. That's looking like it's gonna kill, yeah. With 5 hits, I'm pretty sure that'll kill. And that, honestly, that just puts me in such a fantastic position. Of course, it means whatever they go into now, I won't be able to flinch, but, I mean, I'm in a really good spot here. Like, I'm at +1 attack and speed, and they don't have their Toxic Spikes on the field. So when I do go into Scovillain, I can just, you know, stay alive as long as possible. Plus, if Cinccino dies here, I kind of get the momentum of switching into something else that favors whatever, you know, whatever they're going to go for. And they do go into this guy, who is very likely just going to go for the Vacuum Wave, which will kill me. So I'm going to use this opportunity to go into Scovillain. Scovillain does have a pretty low special defense stat, but I should take this pretty well. I mean, it's just a Vacuum Wave, presumably, unless they make a good prediction here. And then this will also give me a Moody boost, which hopefully will help me against the Ursaluna. They go Vacuum Wave. Does, you know, a chunk of damage there. If we get a speed boost, I think I like that. Again, as I said in the last game, if they have Hyper... Oh, we do get a speed boost. Oh no, special defense drop, that's bad. As I said in the last game, if they have Hyper Voice, that can hit me through my substitute, so that can be really scary. I'm just going to go ahead and sub, though. This could be Terra Normal with Hyper Voice, in which case, you know, GG. It's Terra Normal. Alright. Yeah, like I said, if it's Hyper Voice, we're dead. I feel like they're more likely to just go like Blood Moon here, though, because they might not know that I'm going to substitute, but who knows? Maybe they know what Scovillain's game plan is. They do go Blood Moon, which I don't believe breaks... Well, of course it'll break my sub, but it won't damage me through it. Now I'm not going to sub, and once again, if they have Hyper Voice, I am just straight up dead. It is also very possible that even with Earth Power, I could also die here. But we might be able to stall them out. Let's see, if I ever get like a special defense boost... No, we don't. Okay. A defense drop. Okay, if we ever get a special defense boost, it is possible we might be able to take hits a lot better from them. I think I'm going to protect just to scout what they do, but if they have like Calm Mind, we're in a lot of trouble. So we know for sure Vacuum Wave and Blood Moon, which are, you know, not super surprising. Pretty much every Ursaluna runs those. They probably have Earth Power. I'm not sure they have Hyper Voice. I feel like they probably would have gone for it already. They could have Moonlight. Earth Power is kind of scary, but like I said, if I ever get... It's kind of funny, if I ever get like enough special defense boosts and I can tank hit, like if I can eat those Earth Powers really well, we can get to a point where we basically just always nullify their Blood Moon, because we can just always protect on the turn. Oh, they do have Hyper Voice. Okay, that's good information. That's actually really bad, unless I get a special defense boost here, though. Attack boost. We do not need that. Okay, as long as we're not losing more special defense. Here's what I'm going to do here. We're probably dead. If I sub, then they just Hyper Voice and I die. So I think I'm going to Leech Seed here, expecting them to Hyper Voice. Well, of course we are faster. I kind of forgot about that. But I'm pretty sure we're dead to a Hyper Voice. But I'm expecting them... Oh, they actually... Okay, they make a smart play, and I was thinking they were going to Hyper Voice right there, because they were going to expect me to substitute. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. So we know their move pool. I'm pretty sure they're running Earth Power. We get to go into Rotom here, though. They did just go for their most powerful move, so now they have to follow that up with a less powerful move, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Now the question is, do I have time to Nasty Plot? I'm not sure that I do. They cannot go Blood Moon here, which is fair. They definitely cannot Earth Power, so they're going to go Hyper Voice. I'm pretty sure I still take a lot of damage from Hyper Voice. Ursaluna is just a terrifying monster. I think I just gotta hit them. Ursaluna also has pretty low special defense. My opponent does switch, though, which is really interesting. And they go into Glyvodo. Oh man, that's Glyvodo, okay. Yikes. Alright, so now they might go... that actually kind of takes a lot of damage. I feel like they're going to go Scale Shot. So I was going to eventually Terrastalize against Ursaluna, because I was thinking there might come a point where I'm really low on health and they're going to use Vacuum Wave to kill me. So I did figure that the Terra Fairy would be useful against Ursaluna at some point. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull the trigger on that now. I'm expecting them to Scale Shot because, of course, they're not going to want to use an Ice move against me because I'm a Water type. And they do Scale Shot. And I hope this kills them. If this kills them, we're in a really, really good position. I mean, it's still a scary position, to be fair. Perfect. Okay, that's nice. I mean, yeah, like I said, Ursaluna is a monster. With Ursaluna as their last Pokemon, Cinccino is as good as dead, because as long as they have that Vacuum Wave, they're always going to be able to threaten me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right into Cinccino here, expecting the Blood Moon, so that Cinccino, since like I said, Cinccino is effectively dead at this point. Like, no matter what, like if Cinccino ends up being my last Pokemon, I lose the game either way. So I'm just going to go ahead and sacrifice it, and they do go Blood Moon. That is perfect. So now their most powerful move is out of commission, at least for one turn. Now the question is, you know, what move do I go for? And can Rotom survive a forthcoming Blood Moon on the following turn? Because now this turn they're just going to Hyper Voice, which will do less damage, but I'm not sure I take that well. Which does more? I think Thunderbolt does more, right? I mean, obviously Hydro Pump does the most, but it could miss. So I'm just going to Thunderbolt, and maybe I get a 10% paralysis. And again, given that I'm Terra Fairy, they can never Vacuum... I mean, they could. Maybe if I'm at 1 HP, they could, but... Oh, man. Yeah, that's probably Assault Vest. I do get the paralysis, though. Crazy. And we get the full para. Oh, man. That's terrible for my opponent. They took that really well, though. I'm going to use this opportunity to Nasty Plot. I mean, if we die to this Blood Moon, we die to it. And, like, it doesn't matter what we go for here. Because, like, given that damage from Thunderbolt, that means Hydro Pump would not kill them at this range, unless I get a crit. So, I might as well just Nasty Plot and see what happens. They go Hyper Voice. They actually don't go Blood Moon there. Interesting. Oh my god, yeah, wow. What item did they have? Like, how are you going to take such little damage from Thunderbolt and then do such a massive damage back? I mean, I don't have any HP investment in my Rotom. But, man, yeah. I mean, I'm not super surprised. Ursaluna is an absolute monster. But I still liked that. I still like this team a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and end it there because my controller is dying. I know I've been... Like I said, I'm trying to do more videos and longer ones. I know I usually do three battles in a video. And I will get back to that very soon. And, of course, I will start... You know, I like building new teams. I really enjoy it. And I still have a lot of teams... in my backlog that I really want to showcase in video. But of course, you know, I also might go back to some of my older teams and maybe make some changes to them. So once again, let's take a little quick run through of the team. Every Pokemon seems good here. I mean, I never brought Gholdengo, but it's Gholdengo. It's never going to be bad, right? It's always just such a great Pokemon. Obviously, from those games, Baxcalibur is scary. Although Baxcalibur, I can handle Baxcalibur depending on, you know, how we both lead and stuff like that. Like, Cinccino is pretty decent against Baxcalibur as long as they don't Terra. Espathra is good against Baxcalibur, maybe turn 1. I mean, yeah, I think Baxcalibur is manageable, but I could probably still afford to have a little bit of a better answer to it. And then, of course, Ursaluna. Ursaluna is a nightmare. You know, basically, I think Scovillain can handle literally anything as long as I have enough boosts. So maybe that's the secret weapon. But beyond that, I definitely need to find better answers for things like, again, Ursaluna, probably Meowscarada as well, because I really just never felt like I knew what to do against Meowscarada, and Meowscarada now has the move Triple Axle, which is basically a staple on every Meowscarada set, which is an Ice-type move that hits 3 times, although it has a high chance to miss. But that basically destroys Dragonite right there. So if you look at my team, Meowscarada has at least one move that can just absolutely destroy pretty much every Pokemon on my team. So maybe I should just be running Meowscarada, but more specifically, I need an answer to that. Probably an answer to Ursaluna. I could see Espathra or Gholdengo or even possibly Dragonite being swapped for something else. They're all really good Pokemon, but you know, if I really want this team to focus around Scovillain, I think there's ways that I could do that. Because this isn't exactly a Scovillain team, it's just a team where I'm playing with Scovillain and then I have Pokemon that are just good all around. But it still works sometimes, right? And even that game we just lost, I mean, you know, Ursaluna is a terror, but, you know, it's not like we were getting absolutely destroyed the entire game. I think I made some okay plays, but there's the team. Please try it out. Please let me know what you think about it. Please also let me know if you have any suggestions of Pokemon you'd like to see me use, and if you have team codes to share, I'm always open to that. So thank you very much for watching. Leave a like. Do also subscribe. Do also leave a comment, and tell all your friends. We're going to see you next time.